Next is ONCR 1715, a resolution commending the late Camille Pangburn for her leadership and service to the Osage tribe for the betterment of the tribe and directing distribution. The sponsor is Congresswoman Buffalo Head. How do you wish to proceed?
Thank you, Congress, and those in attendance. Just want to keep this brief because we're going to run through three. We have citations at the very end, which we'll read a little bit more. But I started this last year as a way to honor Osage women in government. March is Osage Women's History Month, and there are very few Osage women that have been a part of our government. I would love to say that we had this plan for the Youth Council to be here today and these citations and honoring, but it was actually serendipitous. And what I have to say is that there's a place for you here. There's a place for Osage women in our government, and so I encourage you to stay active with the Osage people and the Osage Nation and continue on being leaders. Thank you for being here today. Camille Pangburn was elected in 1978 to the 25th Osage Tribal Council and became the first woman ever elected to an office of the Osage tribe. She went on to be elected to the Tribal Council for a total of 7 terms that were consecutive. I think that's remarkable. Please join me in voting yes to honor Camille for her service to the Osage government. Thank you.
Anyone else like to speak to this resolution? Congresswoman Edwards.
I would just like to say that even when I was young and would come here and see the council or come with my father and see the council in action or meet with council members, it was always Camille Pangburn. She was always here and she was always willing to greet you and talk to you and tell you what was going on. So that was an early influence of mine because it said that you could be a woman and you could be a participant in the Osage Nation government and be a leader. Recently, I was in Washington and a woman was talking about the fact that both of their senators were women. And she said, as a youth, I thought only women got to be the senators. And I thought, wow, that's a good concept. So maybe one of these days, I don't know, we'll have 12 Osage women congresswomen. But I would encourage this group over here, the women and the men, to keep pushing and to keep learning how to be leaders. But look at Camille Pangburn and follow her example. Thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Thank you. When I went to sign the commendation for Ms. Pangburn, I saw in the language where it stated she was a trailblazer for Osage women in this government, and I agree with that statement, and I think it was very appropriate to state so. And I, too, much as my colleagues, remember Camille, and I just remember thinking how cool it was, as tiny as she was, standing shoulder to shoulder with all those men, and that was inspiring that she was the only woman. My father worked with her. He was the executive director for federal programs during some of that time, and he often, therefore Camille was a household name, and when I was growing up, and so Camille Pangburn, Ralph Atkinson, Dugan Cheshawal, otherwise known as that damn Dugan to my younger siblings. So, you know, we hear our families speak about our government, so I grew up listening to that. And my father was good friends with all of them, and he would invite them. And Dugan Cheshawal spent a lot of time in our home, and some of those that I watched growing up, and also Camille coming to our home and attending one of my father's birthday parties. And like a little boy, when we give our our young children $1, and when we see them or their birthdays, she gave him 47 $1 bills in a card for his birthday and came to his birthday dinner, so we thought that was funny. And she was, again, a trailblazer for those of us to follow her, and I thank her family for being in attendance, and I also encourage the youth council because Ms. Pangburn was truly inspiring to me as a young child. I'm happy to be here, and I hope that everyone's watching. You have good role models here, and I just would like to say that I'm very pleased to be a part of honoring Camille Pangburn. Thank you. Anyone else like to speak to this resolution? Seeing none. Shall ONCR 1715 pass?
Congressman Hamilton.
Yes.
Congressman Mason.
Yes.
Congressman Norris.
Yes.
Congressman Shaw.
Yes.
Congressman Supernaw.
Yes.
Congressman Tillman.
Yes.
Congressman Walker.
Yes.
Congresswoman Whitehorn.
Yes.
Congresswoman Bethlehem.
Yes.
Congresswoman Edwards.
Yes.
Speaker Pratt.
Yes. ONCR 1715 passes and is advanced to the moment. Next is ONCR 1716, a resolution commending Jodie Revard for her leadership and service to the Osage tribe for the betterment of the tribe and directing the distribution. Congresswoman Buffalo Head is the sponsor. How do you wish to proceed?
I'll open. Thank you, Congress. Jodie Revard was elected to the 31st Tribal Council. She was instrumental in the government reform, which gave all Osages a right to be heard and to cast a vote. She worked diligently to expand gaming to what it is today. Please join me in voting yes to honor Jodie Revard for her service to the Osage government. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman. Is there anyone else who would like to speak to this resolution? Congresswoman Edwards.
Well, I won't say that I remember her as a young child, because I'm pretty sure she's a lot younger than I am. But what I do know about Jodie Revard is that she just keeps giving to the Osage people. Even when she isn't living in the reservation area, even when she isn't on the council, she's participating in our government and providing leadership. From sitting on the Osage Nation Foundation Board, to organizing New Mexico community gathering events, to returning to government as a member of the executive branch. Jodie Revard commits her time and her talents and her energies to our nation and our people. And I think the important thing about that is you don't just have to be on the council or on the Congress or in an executive role as an official to be a leader. And she's demonstrated that her commitment is lifelong, and that's much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Congressman Walker.
Thank you, Speaker, and good morning, everyone. Just a few brief words about Jodie. Known Jodie for a long time. May not be standing here today if it weren't for Jodie. She was instrumental in me applying for my first job, or my only job with the Osage Nation, as the Roads Department Director. I remember her sitting on the 31st Tribal Council. Remember her kind of being a council person cool. Not only as a woman, but as a young person, I appreciated her energy, her enthusiasm, and she provided a different perspective to the council. And anyway, I appreciate all that she does, not only within the nation's government. You see her all over the place, dances, hand games, all over the community, and I appreciate Jodie and her service, and thank you, Congresswoman Buffalo Head, for doing what you've done last year and this year. I think it's a good thing. Thank you. I'll be voting yes.
Thank you, Congressman. Anyone else like to speak to this resolution? Hi, Jim.
I would like to echo the sentiments of my colleagues again and say what an outstanding woman that Jodie is. She's kind and always has a smile. Her smile is contagious, and I appreciate the work that she has done for this nation in the past and continues to do so. I especially bond with her and appreciate her passion for those suffering from mental health and substance abuse, and that's some of the things that we currently work on together. It's important to have those people with that passion for those group who are suffering, and they're often forgotten. So I truly appreciate her help and support of this group, and I wish her well in all future endeavors. But I truly appreciate us being of the same kind and those ages and wanting to give back to our people. And so I thank you so much for all that you do. Is there anyone else who would like to speak to this resolution? Seeing none, the question is, shall ONCR 1716 pass?
Congressman Nixon,
Yes.
Congressman Norris,
Yes.
Congressman Shaw,
Yes.
Congressman Supernaw,
Yes.
Congressman Tillman,
Yes.
Congressman Walker,
Yes.
Congresswoman Whitehorn,
Yes.
Congresswoman Bethlehem,
Yes.
Congresswoman Edwards,
Yes.
Congressman Hamilton,
Yes.
Speaker Pratt.
Yes. ONCR 1716 passes and is advanced to enrollment. Next is ONCR 1717, a resolution commending Rosemary Wood for her leadership and service to the Osage tribe for the betterment of the tribe and directing distribution. Congresswoman Buffalo Head, how do you wish to proceed? All of it.
Thank you, Congress. Rosemary Wood was elected to the 29th and 30th Osage Tribal Council. In addition, she was the first woman to ever file for the position of Principal Chief of the Osage Tribe, truly setting a pathway for ladies to file for the highest office. Please join me in voting yes to honor Rosemary for her service to the Osage government.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak to this resolution? Congresswoman Edwards.
When I think of the term elder, I think of Rosemary Wood, a person who is kind, wise, compassionate, a problem solver, and a person with a unique expertise in life, as well as funeral matters. And I think that's evidenced by the fact that she's now writing for our newspaper, and all our members are getting to learn about her. And she's sharing herself, and that's what's important. It's real easy to end up in your own little world, but she's never done that, and she's showing herself by going out and continuing to impart wisdom to our people. So, in my opinion, there's too few of her, and I would encourage our youth to get to know Rosemary, to seek her out, and to learn from her. You will be better for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Supernaw.
I would just like to say about all of these resolutions that it's not just the women that support women in government. known as a nation of warriors. Today, it seems to be many times it's the women that show the courage and lead the charge. And I just encourage any woman or young girl that's ever considered a career or interest in government to go ahead and run for office. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman. Anyone else like to speak to this resolution?
I would like to agree with Congresswoman Edwards in saying how blessed we are for Rosemary to share her wisdom and continue. And I look at some of the other women and I just hope that I'm as beautiful and healthy and kind and giving as our elder women are. And I appreciate them, and that's how we learn, and that's how we continue it on, and keep this process going throughout the years. And she is a kind, giving, good, strong Catholic woman, and I appreciate all that she does, and again, especially for sharing that with us, because that's how we carry on. And I would just like to again say that I'm truly grateful to be a part of honoring these special women, and I would like to thank Congressman Supernall for his comments on, because I will say that the women in this government, those who've been honored thus far, those today, and those sitting in these seats right now, try to be as strong as we can. And we serve with our hearts, and we get a bad rap sometimes for yakking and you know, getting passionate and worked up, and it comes from a good place. It really does. So thank you, Congressman Supernall, for making that statement, because I think these women are tough, and I appreciate their spine on many occasions, all of them, and they have set us forth into the future. And I too encourage not just women, men also, and boys and girls, but I encourage these young girls with us today to know that they have that ability and strength within them, and especially because they're Osage. Thank you. Anyone else? The question is, shall ONCR 1717 pass?
Congressman Norris,
Yes.
Congressman Shaw,
Yes.
Congressman Supernall,
Yes.
Congressman Tillman,
Yes.
Congressman Walker,
Yes.
Congresswoman Walker,
Yes.
Congresswoman Beckler,
Yes.
Congresswoman Edwards, yes. Congressman Hamilton,
Yes.
Congressman Mason,
Yes.
Speaker Pratt.
Yes. ONCR 1717 passes and is advanced to enrollment. Next, we're on motions and notices, and I would like to give our committee notices first so that we can move on with the presentation of the commendations. I would also like to remind the youth council that pay attention to when these meetings are, because this is how our afternoon will look if you are able to stay all day. So, Congressman Shaw.
There'll be a meeting of the Appropriations Committee today between 1 and 3. We have discussion of FY 17 and 18 projected revenue, as well as ONCA 1736, which consists of amendments to the capital asset improvement fund.
Thank you. Congressman Supernall.
Congress Committee will meet from 3 to 5. Topic of discussion will be the important lease on the Blue Stem Ranch.
Thank you. Congresswoman Beckler.
Thank you, Speaker, members of Congress. The Osage Nation Citation and Commendation for Camille Pangburn. Whereas Camille Pangburn dedicated 25 years of service to the Osage tribe and its people as a member of the Osage Tribal Council. And whereas Camille Pangburn became the first woman to be elected to the office of the Osage tribe in 1978. And whereas Camille Pangburn was a true trailblazer who expanded the leadership opportunities for women of the Osage tribe. And whereas Camille Pangburn earned the admiration and respect of her colleagues and the current members of the Osage Nation Congress for her leadership, dedication, and years of service to the Osage people. Now therefore, pursuant to the motion of Congresswoman Alice Buffalohead, the Osage Nation Congress extends to Camille Pangburn sincere commendation and directs that this citation be presented. And here to accept on her behalf is her great-granddaughter Faith, and I also wanted to mention that she has great-great-granddaughters in attendance today. Thank you. The Osage Nation, citation for commendation for Jodie Revard. Whereas Jodie Revard dedicated 4 years of service to the Osage tribe and its people as a member of the Osage Tribal Council, and whereas Jodie Revard was a member of the 31st Osage Tribal Council that supported government reform to give all Osages a voice. And whereas Jodie Revard helped to expand gaming for the Osage tribe, giving economic opportunity to our people. And whereas Jodie Revard earned the admiration and respect of her colleagues and the current members of the Osage Nation Congress for her leadership, dedication, and years of service to the Osage people. Now therefore, pursuant to the motion of Congresswoman Alice Buffalohead, the Osage Nation Congress extends to Jodie Revard sincere commendation and directs that this citation be presented. The Osage Nation citation for commendation wrote for Rosemary Wood. Whereas Rosemary Wood dedicated 8 years of service to the Osage tribe and its people as a member of the Osage Tribal Council. And whereas Rosemary Wood became the first woman to file for the position of Principal Chief of the Osage tribe. And whereas Rosemary Wood has earned many accomplishments in the field of nursing, serving as Chief of the Indian Health Services Nursing Branch and also a Special Assistant to the Director of IHS. And whereas Rosemary Wood earned the admiration and respect of her colleagues and the current members of the Osage Nation Congress for her leadership, dedication, and years of service to the Osage people. Now therefore, pursuant to the motion of Congresswoman Alice Buffalohead, the Osage Nation Congress extends to Rosemary Wood sincere commendation and directs that this citation be presented.